Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw, and one of my favourite things to sew is a bag. I don't think I leave the house without some kind of bag over my shoulder, whether I'm going to work or I'm going out for dinner or even if I'm going to the beach. And of course, it's quite nice if there was a coordinating purse to go with it as well, which is why I wrote my book, Half Yard Bags and Purses. The Half Yard range of books creates projects using less than half a yard of fabric. So there's little expense involved in these. It may be plus pockets and hardware and straps, but a minimum amount of fabric is needed for each one of these bags. And I'll try to explain everything to you really, really clearly. And of course, you can adapt the bags. You can add extra pockets on the inside, on the outside, if you wish as well. Now, at the start of the book, I always like to put the kind of things that you're going to need. So those are all of the bags. There are 12 in total, but 12 matching purses as well. And they'll explain to you what you need. So I've got tips for the absolute beginner. For instance, start with a relatively simple project such as a cocktail hour purse on pages 90 to 93. Top stitching can be a bit daunting if you're not very confident. Sew slowly and use a thread that matches your fabric so it doesn't stand out too much. Most important one is number 10. Relax. Sewing is fun. Don't worry if things go a little bit wrong. Simply put down your work and come back to it the next day, and it won't seem half as bad as you may think. This basic sewing kit that you're going to need for the projects in this book, so the things that you need, not necessarily the things that you want. And then tips and advice on your binding, cutting curves, on the threads that you're going to use, mitring corners, adding pockets. So you can add extra pockets to any of the bags in here as well. How to put a zipped pocket in there. And then we go on to the actual projects themselves. And I like to think there's lots of different techniques in here too. So it may be something that you've not tried before, something that you'd maybe learn from. So there's my casual tassel bag with, again, the matching purse. That's a nice one, I think, to take to work, but it's a slouchy bag. It's a little bit unusual. Even make your own tassels for that one. This would be the one that I took to the beach. And of course, the matching purse as well, which actually might make a nice little gift bag. So again, you can adapt all of these. This is a really unusual bag. It's all hand sewn with a really thick felt. So it just makes it a little bit different. And your hand stitches really stand out on that one as well. And that again is the purse to go with it. And then the messenger bag. I have seen so many pictures of the messenger bags that you've made, so I know this is a really popular one. And it's quite a roomy bag because it kind of folds out. And you can use either the shoulder strap or the handle. And that is the mini messenger, which is the purse, which has the letterbox zip on that one. And it's just got a little wristlet. You could make that into a longer strap if you wish. Now, this is the largest bag, which is a working girl tote. May take a little bit of extra fabric for the lining on that one. So half a yard, half a metre for the outside of the bag, and then a little extra for the inside. Maybe you've not done piping before. There's lots of hints and tips on how to get the best results from those as well. Adding bag feet. Oh, and that's the wallet to go with it. So all of the purses and wallets are a little bit different to each other. So this is the first class caddy. So this one slips over the handle of your suitcase, and there's your matching purse to go with that one as well. I try to include as many photographs as I can, and these are all photographed as I sew. It's quite handy being married to a photographer, so you're getting like a real life step-by-step of how I actually put these together. And the beauty of being able to put so many photographs in is that if I miss anything out, I can go back and say, no, I need another step here, or I need more detail here. This is a lovely evening bag. Now imagine this is a faux leather with a sheer lace just over the top of it, but imagine that in denim or in ticking, you'd have a completely different look. In a printed fabric, so that's, although I've called it Ladies' Day because I thought it looked quite posh, but that could equally well be a daytime bag as well as an evening bag. Oh, and with the frames, all of your frames are going to be different shapes and sizes, so I'll explain to you how to make a pattern for the frame that you have. So that's a little purse frame, but it could be a bigger frame, a smaller frame, an arched frame. So there's tips on how to do that as well. And there's a QR code there, so that's a link to a video which will explain to you in more depth how to do that. So cocktail hour, I'm thinking evening times, with the chain over there makes it look like a very evening type of bag. You could make that strap in fabric if you wanted to. And then the little purse is the same technique, but on a smaller scale. And that can be made into a wristlet. Sorry. The Crafty Girls folder holder is a nice project to keep maybe your work projects in there, or if you're going to a workshop, you can keep all of your notes and your patterns in there as well. Oh, and this one looks a little bit different. So again, that could be more beachy, and a denim and a stripe as well. So that's the Crafty Girls purse to match. That's a concertina purse with the video for applying bias binding on there as well. This is a lovely one. So it's just folding fabric technique, which you could use on cushion covers as well. It doesn't have to be just on bags. And on the little purse, there's just one of the kind of crazy patchwork roses on that one there too. And then if you've got your twisted thread bag, now this is a great way of using a spare yarn that you may have to basically create your own fabric. And the purse for this one is a fold-out purse. So although, you know, they're purses, this one could be used to store your crafty bits and bobs and your sewing notions in there. The Girl on the Go bag is a little backpack with a purse which slips over your hand, and that could be actually made into an evening bag as well. So that is Half Yard Bags and Purses. I hope you enjoy making the bags, or just take inspiration from the projects. I know a lot of you will adapt the bags and make them yours. They all look so different depending on what kind of fabric that you use. And as I said before, if you wanted to make the straps longer or shorter and add pockets or take pockets away, or add one element from one bag and put it in with the next one, it's lovely to see how you do that as well and turn my creations into your unique creations. So that's Half Yard Bags and Purses. I hope you enjoy it.